When I first started looking at a new industry out of oil and gas, where I've spent almost all of my career, what got me excited about hemp is that I felt like this was a new industry that could be environmentally friendly, that capital could be brought into to really grow something from the very beginning that's been outlawed since the 30s, and have an opportunity to really change the world in many, many different ways. So as we started exploring the business, we knew that the only way we could really learn it was boots on the ground. So we traveled to Colorado, we traveled to Kentucky and South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and we began meeting with not only farmers, but we started meeting with co-ops, we started meeting with extraction labs, we met with processors being drying and cleaning and stripping facilities. We've also looked at many consumables, both topicals and ingestibles, and trying to get a feel for how the hemp business was going to grow and prosper. And being a former oil and gas guy, I've had to deal with risk my entire life. And so the biggest risk in the oil and gas industry has been commodity risk, because oil and gas prices were always fluctuating and you had to build your budgets and build your company around a very volatile commodity. No different in hemp. Hemp prices, since I've been involved just in the last couple years, have completely gyrated from very highs to very lows with supply and demand. And so it's in that regard, we decided to take a more measured approach and be careful, because we were seeing a lot of businesses out there that we definitely knew were not going to make it. They were undercapitalized, they were over leveraged, and they weren't really focused on what they should be doing. And so by mitigating that risk, we chose to pick a sector within the hemp business that was the least risky. In other words, it did not have any commodity risk associated with it, and was in essence a midstream company, or you could call it a tolling company, where you got paid a fee for handling the product, but you didn't take the commodity risk of owning the product. And that's what's going to allow us to be successful and have sustainability to be able to grow our business. And so as we continue to look at the opportunities within the sector, we're seeing the cream rise to the surface. And there are a lot of companies that we looked at over the last couple of years that just simply are not going to make it and are going bankrupt. Companies that went from 100, 150 employees down to 4. And getting out of the business. So that is a natural evolution of something in a new industry where it's very fragmented, where there's a lack of capital. 2019 was a bumper year for farmers growing hemp, and so that created an oversupply of product, which drove down the price, which obviously hurt a lot of companies. So we made the decision again to stay in the midstream, and so we were insulated from that. In fact, we were able to win a significant contract that helped grow our business, and we're making very good money right now, where most of our competition is not. So we do plan to expand the business into the extraction lab area. We've been very careful looking at those different businesses. We'd also like to be in the lab side where you're actually doing testing of hemp. And so we're trying to be careful, trying to be measured, and be sure that we're in an area that doesn't have all the volatility associated with a moving commodity like we have today.